Oh god. Oh god. Oh, I regret. Instant regret. Oh god. Alright, so we have about 5 minutes to eat this. Today, what are we doing? Just did cardio, and now we're gonna go to my buddy's house because he's selling his house, and he needs some real estate photos. So we're gonna do that, and we might go see Spider-Man. I haven't vlogged in a while, so let's just see where the day takes us, and I guess make it look cool while we're at it. And maybe near the end, we'll talk about some Lightroom things, because, you know, real estate photos and Lightroom, they kind of go hand in hand. So, yeah, let's crush this, and then let's get on with our day. All right, how is this gonna work? 2 trips. Oh god. Wet, 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 wet. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay. Stay. I'll be right back. Alright. Beverages, memory card, coffee, water. I think I have everything. I'm gonna leave you guys back here. And I'll see you at Dan's. Hi, Dan. So this is my friend Dan's house, and Dan is over there. Say hi, Dan.
Hello. Nice to meet all of you.
Yeah. He's a very talented graphic designer, and we're going to be doing some photos and some video of his lovely house so he can sell it. So let's go to the tour. Okay, and while Dan transfers those photos, let's talk about what we're gonna do. We're gonna import the photos, but we're not gonna just click and drag. We're gonna do something in Lightroom, which will allow you to rename all your files. And then we're gonna talk about HDR photos. So while he does that, I guess we'll just sit at the computer until he's ready. All right, so I'm not recording the screen, but I will put up some B-roll of that. I let Apple defeat me. So one of the things about the Apple operating system is I just don't get it. So when I was helping Dan today, I just ran into an issue of there were just some things as far as buttons and not having a right click that was just like, ah. So we're doing this tutorial here, jumping into Lightroom right now. And we're talking about how to do a couple things to make your workflow in Lightroom a little bit more efficient. So first things first, importing your photos. You could do the typical click and drag from your SD card into your computer, but there's a more efficient way, and Lightroom does a lot of the work for us. So, File, Import Photos and Video. You can import them in one of 3 ways. I don't use the add function, so 3 ways. You can either do copy as a DNG, or move. Do not recommend using move because it will cut them and paste them, and if your SD card is like bleh, and then you're trying to get those photos back, you're not going to because there is a big error in between all of that. So copy always when you're transferring from your SD card to your workstation. Tip number 2, file handling, and a lot of the things on the right side of the import tab that we don't really look at. So we can set it to choose the previews in which it will generate, so that when you are loading up the pictures, they might load faster or slower. You can make a second copy. Now, one of the biggest tools about the way we can handle the files is there's a built-in file renaming system inside Lightroom. So what you can do is just go to file renaming on the right side when you are importing photos and videos, and click on rename files, and we have a bunch of templates here. You can even edit this, so you can be like, hey, can you give me the date, or let's say the file name plus whatever else. I don't want that, so let's just go with what they have here. I typically use custom name and then original file number, or custom name and sequence. And the reason why I do this is when you have a client and you give them 100 photos and you want them to pick 30, you don't want them to go through photos that are named underscore DSC 7177. It just looks unprofessional, and if you want to give them a really quality product and experience with you, make the files somewhat easy to understand for them. So with custom name, we can just call this Dan Adolf underscore real estate photos, and it will put it in a sequence of 1 to X based on how many photos you took. Super useful, very easy to apply to your photo imports. Now, how are you going to import this? This is tip number 3. We can go down to this destination section here, and from here we can look at all of our hard drives. So I have my local disk C. I don't want to look at that because that is my operating system hard drive, but I have my media drive here and I have some space, and I know I want this to live here. I go into photography and I go into the folder I already made in here, Dan Adolf real estate photos, and then I have the folder that I already made, but you can simply go up here and do create new folder if you want to. I typically don't, but obviously you could do it in here, and then click on the folder that I have. Now I renamed it. Now I named this photo the name of my camera and the date, so I know what camera it was shot on and the date I shot it, so that I can easily access these photos when I need to. So from here, we can uncheck or check into subfolder, organize by date, and do all those fun things. So here we have my folder selected, and then we can just hit the big fat import button, and now it's doing the thing. Let it load and copy and import those photos, and then you'll have everything in Lightroom. We didn't have to use our operating system to drag them in anyways. Super useful. Okay, moving on, let's talk about using the library tab a little bit more effectively. This is something I didn't really use until a couple months ago, but it really has helped my workflow. And the way you can use this is, one, you can apply a lot of effects to photos in a batch all at once, so you can save time and ideally save some money, because that's really what it's all about. So let's just work with photos 59 through 63, just these 5 photos. So in the quick develop tab, we can apply presets here, so we don't have to go to the develop tab, but we just do it quickly, hence quick develop. So saved preset, color, let's go to black and white. So we have photo 59 selected, set that to black and white flat, and now it's set to black and white. Let's just undo that. Now, why is that useful? Well, you can select more photos and do the exact same thing. And applied. And now all of these photos, 59 through 63, have a garbage black and white filter over it. But the point is, you can apply these filters over a lot of photos all at once. This one just looked like garbage. Let's just... So, yeah, there you go. Applying batch photo edits to your photos. Very useful. So you can edit one and then just apply everything all at once. All right, we got one more tip, and that is to create HDR images. And what those are is high dynamic range. So I took 5 photos of the room in succession, all at different exposures. And the benefit of this is that, let's say I want to use the exposure of the bed here in photo number 59 right here. Photo 59, I want this one. But I want to use the exposure of the window out here because it's not blown out and gross and all that. So I can select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 photos that I took and I know are exactly the same composition wise. They have not moved. The only difference is that their exposure is different. And I can right click, photo merge, HDR. And a window will pop up and you can set the deghost amount so it'll try and account for any movement. It'll create a stack of photos so that it consolidates your library of photos that you're currently looking at as far as their import, and you can auto do its settings once it's done doing the HDR, and it'll auto align the photos afterwards as well. So right now I'm just not going to deghost because the tripod doesn't move and I was using a remote, and I'll just use auto settings, so that'll give me a good starting point. Click merge, and we wait, 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 and we wait. Now we have our stack, and here is the HDR image. So the benefit of this, like I said, is now we have this HDR image somewhere. Here it is, first one in the stack, and you can already see it's brightened things up, but I know this window is way too bright overexposed, so I can go to my brush tool and then just increase the size of that, and let's just paint over that. And right now we're adding exposure, but I want to definitely bring that down, so let's say -1. Just mask overlay that just to see where I'm working. Keep painting that side in until you're just happy with where that mask is. I definitely don't want it on this outer edge where the wall is. Just go in there, get rid of anywhere where there should be some darker shadows, and just really keep that, and let's just check that. And that looks already better. It looks a little bit more not overexposed. And from there, the benefit about doing this is you are keeping as much detail in those highlights and those shadows as possible by taking the best parts of each image. All right, so I was defeated by the Mac operating system today, but I taught these things to Dan and he thought they were useful. So I'm hoping that you will find these useful as well. Anyways, back to the vlog where we're gonna actually do some other things. All right, Dan, you ready? I'm ready. I'm ready. Do you mind helping me take my stuff out to the car?
Yes.
Bye, Amber. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah, of course.
I really appreciate it.
Cool. Yeah.
Godspeed.
Yeah.
See you at later.
Take care. All right. So we just took hundreds of photos of his house, and I'm beat, but I hope you learned something from our little Lightroom inter-vlog tutorial, so to speak. Get some food, go home, and go see this new Spider-Man movie. I am super late, but I am super pumped about going to see it because apparently it's really good for motion graphics and all that, and superhero movies are always fun. So I'm gonna lens cap you, and we'll talk about the movie after that, which will be later tonight. All right? Be back in a second. Lens cap. Wow, that was a good movie. Saw Spider-Verse, and the visual effects were amazing. RGB splits everywhere. Yeah, a lot of really cool things. Anyways, it is 9:05 now. This is late for me. early for some people, but late for me. So I'm gonna go to bed. I've been up since 5:30, and I have another early morning. But we'll end the vlog here. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you appreciated this vlog and perhaps the little mini impromptu Lightroom tutorial. Hope that was useful. If you have comments, questions, concerns, whatever else, let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, my name is John Jags. Fix my ponytail, and I will see you guys in that next video. Bye. Let's go.
Put the place up.